Don, I guess I'm like a lot of folks. I first really noticed you in Devil in the Blue Dress, and all respects to Denzel Washington and the others, but it was Don Cheadle that I came away with,
Oh,
you know.
thank you.
And then here you are now in a very different kind of role, an intelligent, land-owning, arts-loving African-American trying to defend his family in a crisis. Tell us about that.
Well, it was great to be able to play an historical character. Because there's a lot of source material to go to, and I was able to hook up with one of the sons of a woman that was actually, she was a little girl at the time, but he had a lot of information, Arnett Doctor, and so it was great. It was a great source to just learn about this true hero, this real man that lived at that time, and really the incredible life that he had, and the incredible adversity that he had to face at that time.
Now, word has it that John Singleton saw you in Devil in a Blue Dress. Is that right? How important has that role been for you?
Oh, it's been good.
Yeah.
I mean, that was another great role for me, and another great a lot of fun I had getting into Mouse. And yeah, John saw that, and he called me that night. Called me right after he saw it, and he said, we have to work together on something. And Rosewood came along, and he said, I would like you to play Sylvester. And as soon as I read the script, I said yes.
You really are at the heart of that thing. That heartbreaking shot of your piano going up in flames somehow epitomizes to me the whole message of that film, really. A way of life, a culture. You are from Kansas City, Missouri, so you're talking to the folks out there in your hometown. Tell us about your roots, your upbringing.
Well, all my family is there. I mean, my cousins and my grandparents and uncles and aunts, and on both sides of my parents' family. So that was just that's a great source for me. That's just a source of strength for me, and a great community of family that I grew up in. In Hardesty, around Hardesty, just KCMO in the city, around Prospect, places like that.
You still get back?
Yeah, I get back. I go back, try to go back every year.
You ever had a chance to do a film project back there?
No, I haven't. I'd love to. But
Not even when Altman was shooting Kansas City, huh?
No.
Did you try?
I was working. I think I didn't get to even get up for that. Yeah.
Well, let's compare notes a little bit. What did you think about the portrait of Kansas City that came across in that movie?
I didn't see it.
You've not seen it yet?
I haven't seen it.
Got to do it.
But I did see the special that they had on PBS with all the musicians.
Anything about background or point of reference for you that stays with you now? I know that's a hard thing to pin down.
No, just the realness of it. I mean, just it's a very grounding place for me. It's a place that whenever I go there, I just feel really centered, being with my family and with my cousins and my uncles and my aunts. I just feel at home. I feel really just surrounded and grounded, I guess is the best way to...
Are you kind of a celebrity? Just old Don's back.
not at the house, not at the grandparents. No, you're just little Donald. That's who I am.
Well, a lot of people are paying attention to you now, and so where are you in your career? How old are you? What are some ambitions of yours, etc.?
I would just like to continue to be able to play the diverse kinds of characters that I've been able to this point to play. I've been really blessed and very fortunate to get to play a wide range of characters, and to me that's why I wanted to do this. Really, that's the fun of this, is to build a character from the ground up and to create someone who's totally different than who you are, and to really just try and disappear into that person. And that's what's the fun thing to me. So whenever I see any projects that come down the line like that, I'm gonna jump on them, because that's what I like to do.
Well, now at this point in your career, does that mean you have an agent on the lookout? Have you moved to L.A.? What have you had to do?
I've lived in Los Angeles for 13 years now, 14 years, something like that.
And who's on the lookout for these parts? You or an agent?
Me, my agent, manager, God, everyone, hopefully.
Let's close out coming back to Rosewood, because you are the character that I think epitomizes the true racist actions going on, because you are an African American who is despised because you're doing well.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
independent. You own land.
Right. And that was interesting enough. I really appreciate the script for that, because it brought up a lot of the reasons why these towns clashed, and that was a big reason. That the town of Rosewood was relatively affluent compared to Sumner, which was a mill town, with tract homes, and all the homes looked alike. And in Rosewood, the houses had character. There were two-story houses. Sylvester had a piano. There was a very different feel You know, they were pretty repressed and despondent, a lot of drunks and something.
Yeah, and that one mob member is mad. He doesn't have a piano. Of course, he doesn't play.
He doesn't
a piano,
play, exactly.
But he doesn't have.
Exactly. And I thought that was a very poignant thing in the script. Just that line alone is just saying that there's a lot of differences between these two people, other than the obvious racial difference, that made this situation really explosive. And I think always the xenophobia of someone being a different race is the easiest thing to point to and easiest thing to try and go off on. So that's what it became about. Mm-hmm. But there were a lot of things that went into it.
And finally, it's based upon a real person.
Absolutely.
Were you able to find out much about him?
Yes, I was. Arnett Doctor told me was like I said, a great source, and he gave me a lot of information about him. And he was thought of, actually, what you said, he was thought of as being crazy because he stood up to them, because he didn't back down when he felt he was right. And a lot of people saw that as being defiant or, you know, uppity, or he had an attitude. But he was just a strong man who didn't think he shouldn't be a strong man for everybody.
And although we're not going to talk about what happens to you in the movie, in the historical record, his fate was a sad one, I guess. I think he did die.
In historical record, but Arnett said that his family received every Christmas a Christmas card from him for about 30 years after that.
Oh, is that right?
Said in one year they stopped coming, and his mother got them together because she never told them who they were from.
Oh, no, I see.
And then she got them together and told them who they were from. These are from your Uncle Sylvester.
I can't even imagine what kind of a feeling this must have been for you to have to sit in the shoes of that character.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah. Hot.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll get out of here. Hey, come back to Kansas City again sometime soon.
I will.
Okay, I'm John Tibbetts for KCTV5 talking to Don Cheadle about Rosewood.